Hey guys, thank you so much for joining in for today's session on this series. I'm single and I know it. Yes, this is for all you singles out there and just wondering how to make your decision with regard to your life partner and marriage, and how to make a decision with regard to your relationships, or you want to equip yourself on this topic. This is for you, where I'm going to talk about 3 characteristics that you need to look out while you're choosing a life partner. Okay, there are pretty more that you need to look at, but I'm going to just stick to 3 in this episode. So I hope you're blessed. I want you to stay tuned because this is very, very important. And here I jump into it. So the first and foremost characteristic that you need to look out while you're choosing a life partner is that you are aligned spiritually. See, gone are the days when people just chose a Christian, because the scripture does say that, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, and the scripture does say that, you have the right to choose whom you think is best only in the Lord. I'm going to go in detail and talk about why you should not marry a non-Christian in another video. Hope you stay tuned and watch that. But in today's, I'm going to restrict myself to the fact that yes, not only should you stick on to a person who is a Christian. It's not just enough to marry a Christian. It's not enough to marry a believer. It's not enough to marry a born-again Christian, but you also have to be united spiritually, because I'll be honest with you, because the same Bible, but people have different views, different opinions. People go to different churches, and I know many families which are distorted because the husband wants to go to a different church, the wife doesn't want to speak in tongues, and one is in this kind of a background, the other is uncomfortable with this kind of a background, but they both love the Lord, they both read the Bible, they both pray, but the problem is there's a drift in their relationship because they're not seeing things the way each other see. Now, I'm not saying that you would be able to see the Bible 100% the same way for both of you. Both of you may not have the same kind of an experience and a journey or your walk with God, that is from both ends. But you got to understand that at least to a wide extent, it is important that you are aligned spiritually. Because there are people I know who start off great, but the problem is, their spouse doesn't, believe in the same things they believe. Like, let's take some general things. Like, for example, you're from a background where, like an AG or a charismatic background, and your spouse is from a traditional background. You're more comfortable to shout out the Lord's name, and you're more comfortable in speaking in tongues, but your spouse is from a background where, he or she doesn't even know, if speaking in tongues is for them or not, and they're not understood or had a revelation of it. And so all these things can lead to rubbing in your relationship. Both may be believers, both may read the Bible, but it will cause a rubbing. So it is imperative that when you choose, it's important that you are also spiritually aligned. I know many families like that. When they start off and the spouse wants to go to a different church, they want to go to another church, and they end up fighting with each other, and one is not happy, the other is sad, and the other is frustrated and complaining, and then says, okay, I'm not going to go to church because of this and these reasons. So why go to all that trouble? First of all, go and choose somebody with whom you are able to see spiritually to a wide extent. I want to completely tell you this aspect, wide extent. You cannot see each other 100% all the time, but at least to a wide extent. Ensure that you find, when you are choosing a life partner, they should have, be aligned to have the same level of maturity and understanding that you do. Otherwise, it's going to get into trouble. Because if you, I'm not asking you to stick to the same church or the same ministry or the community, but it is imperative that if you are able to, it's great. because you will know, okay, I'm comfortable with this kind of a background, this kind of a church, this kind of a ministry, so the other person is also comfortable with the same. It'll be easy for you, because life is going to be different once you get married. See, it's one thing to know them from a distance, but now to live with them for the rest of your life, you got to be careful that you are able to see each other the same way to a wide extent. I hope you were blessed by this message. Hope you like it, share it, comment on it. Would love to hear from you. If you have questions, do feel free to ask me. And at the same time, would love to get back to you very soon. God bless you.